So, I was in a coma. Yeah, I know. That's a great way to start a conversation. It's a complicated story. I had surgery, something went wrong, inflammation started in my lungs, and it ended up putting me in an induced coma. It's not just a blackout, they put me to sleep with medication, and they did it for 2 weeks so that my body could recover and survive. Dreams, illusions, whole stories. Something incredible was going on in my head. So I decided to tell you what it was like to be in a coma. Perception filter. The first thing to realize is that you're not completely disconnected from the world. You can hear it. It's like you're aware of what's going on around you, but everything goes through a weird filter in your brain. As if reality first dissolves in the medication and then comes back to you in the form of completely different pictures. For example, I remember someone from the family sitting next to me and talking. I could hear what they were talking about, but in my head, it turned into a scene at summer camp. A wooden cabin, girls whispering about their friends. They were discussing the nurse, and I, in this imaginary world, was participating in the chatter and even answering them, even though I didn't actually say a word. Strange positions, strange dreams. Sometimes I had to lie in very uncomfortable positions. The medics turned me over, tilted the bed. Once, for example, they put me in a position where my body was almost hanging upside down. The Trendelenburg position. My brain reacted instantly. It was as if I was in a hammock hanging from the ceiling. My foot was stuck there, and I couldn't get out. And the thought was going around in my head. Why can't I just get up? But logic in a coma works by its own laws. Traveling to Alaska, the most incredible part, the constant trips to Alaska. I've never had any interest in that state, never even thought about it. But in my coma, it was like I was living there. The coniferous forests, snow-covered bays, lakes, everything is so bright and peaceful. I spent hours just sitting in this imaginary place, admiring the scenery, watching the deer. Later, it turned out that all this time, I had a high temperature, and I was literally covered with ice packs. My brain seems to have decided, oh, cold? Alaska it is. So much for logic. Voices and feelings. What's interesting is how much perception was influenced by the voices of those around us. If someone close to me was speaking, mom, dad, I found myself in beautiful, safe places. If it was a stranger whom I hardly knew, the sensations were disturbing. I was lost and did not realize where I was. It explained a lot, even outside of the coma, because who we are around changes the way we perceive the world. What did I take away from this experience? It was like dreams, only 100 times more vivid and real. And you know what? I love Alaska now, even though I've never been there. But most importantly, I realized who really matters, who brings me joy, and how easy it is for my brain to believe fiction. And you know, strangely enough, it feels good to remember it all. So if you want me to tell you more, leave a comment. I'll make another video, fun and honest, as always.